People matter. The squad that you roll with, the people you hang out with, the friends you surround yourself with, they all matter. Because people can play an important role in growing your faith. They will either impact your faith in a positive or negative way. So the squad that you roll with, the people at school that you surround yourself with, your friends, your family, everybody that surrounds you, everybody that you surround yourself with is going to impact your faith in either a positive or negative way. And this is what I want to talk to you about today, this morning, right now. That's what I want to talk to you about today. If you've ever heard somebody's testimony before, maybe you grew up in church, or maybe you just had a deep conversation with a friend, have you ever heard their testimony just about their life, on how they changed, like a turning point in their life, like a light switch moment? They were living in sin, they were dark, and then a light switch moment happened, they found Jesus, now they're loving life, living with Jesus. Odds are there is a certain person in their life that impacted them. Even if they're not with Jesus, just take Jesus out of the equation for a second. Maybe it's just a person that's been depressed and anxiety and whatever it may be, and then just a light switch moment happened and now they're joyful, right? There was probably I can bet that there was a person that played a very vital role in their life. Because people matter, relationships matter. And if I have to bet, there's somebody in your life, outside of a parent probably, that plays an important role in your life. Maybe a counselor, a teacher, a mentor, an older friend, an uncle, grandma, the neighbor's dog's nephew, grandma, I don't know. But there's a good chance there's somebody in your life that plays an important role. You care about them and they care about you. They want to see you succeed. And you want to live your life up to them. You don't want to disappoint them. So the people that we surround ourselves, they matter. That squad that we're rolling with, they matter because they're going to impact our faith in a positive or negative way. But it's up to you to decide, how do you want your faith to be impacted? I can sit here all day long and tell you to surround yourself with great people and full of pastors and youth leaders. But if you don't want your faith to be impacted, then I'm just sitting here telling you a bunch of words. So I want to challenge you right now to evaluate your heart. Where is your faith at? Fact check, heart check. Where's your faith at? Do you want your faith to be impacted? Are you sitting in a chair of complacency right now, to where you're just chilling, doing life? You know, you're just neutral. You're not really going forward. You're not going back. You're just neutral with your faith. If something good happens, then great, glory to God. If something bad happens, then dang God, what happened? You're just neutral with your faith. So I want to challenge you to check your heart. Where are you at right now with your heart? Do you want your faith to be impacted? Me personally, I want my faith to continue to grow daily. I don't want to sit in neutral. I don't want to sit in a seat of complacency, sitting in neutral, not going anywhere. Because here's the thing, if you ever have your driver's license, you're driving a car, you have drive, which is going forward, you have neutral, which is nowhere, and you have reverse, which is going backwards. But here's the thing about neutral. If you're sitting in neutral, you're going to go whichever way the road is. So if you're on a downhill slope and your car's in neutral, you're going downhill. If you're trying to go uphill and your car's in neutral, you're going to slide back down. So whatever way the road is kind of going and your car's in neutral, that's what way you're going to lead. And if you don't want your faith to be impacted, if you're just chilling in neutral, you're going to be led by the people around you. You're like a car in neutral, and whatever way the road goes is the way you're going to turn. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with a good influence, because they're going to impact your life. Have you ever been in trouble? Have you ever gotten in trouble for something that you didn't do? That's my biggest pet peeve. I hate getting in trouble for something that I didn't do. I remember when I was in 9th grade, shout out to freshman year, all the way to 9th grade, 2014, I was sitting around this table. I thought that, I played football. The people I was sitting with played football, so, football bros, we were friends by association. We all played football, so it was great. But I remember I was sitting, it was math class. I was sitting in math class, and the teacher moved the chairs into groups. So we had a group of 5 kind of in the corner of the room. And we were doing homework, playing a game, and this dude just dropped the F-bomb real loud. Like, he just said, "What the beep?" And he just dropped the F-bomb really loud. And the teacher looked up, and she thought I did it. And I did not have a chance to defend myself. I didn't have anything. I just got sent to ISS. She said, "Josh, go to ISS." I didn't have a chance to defend myself. I wasn't about to snitch. No, I'm a football bro. I don't want to snitch. But I didn't have a chance to defend myself. But the people that I hung around with in that moment impacted my life in that moment. I was guilty by association. I suffered the consequences of my friend's actions because I decided to sit with them. Now, if I did not decide to sit with them and he dropped the F-bomb, the teacher probably would have known it was him. But I got blamed for it because the people that I sat with impacted my life. I suffered the consequence of somebody else's actions. And And that's what I want you to do. I want you to evaluate. Are the people in your life, are you suffering their consequence? Are you being the effect of their actions? Are the people you're surrounding yourself with, are they living their life and you're just getting in trouble and you're getting blamed? You don't even have a chance to defend yourself, but you're getting blamed for their actions. Then you need a peace out with them. You gotta cut them off. And this is kind of what the Bible says about it. This is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. It says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." A wise person is somebody who makes good, healthy decisions, and a fool doesn't use good judgment and makes poor decisions. So it says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. The definition of the word companion is a person or animal with whom one spends a lot of time or whom one travels with. So saying if you're walking with the wise, if you're surrounding yourself with people with good character and good judgment, then you're going to become wise. But if you're a companion of fools, then you will suffer harm. See, me in math class, I was a companion of fools. I was hanging around with a companion of fools, and I suffered the consequence of it. I suffered harm. I got sent to ISS. I didn't have a chance to defend myself. So I want you to evaluate, are you walking with wise people, or are you a companion amongst fools? I don't want you to suffer any harm. That's why I'm trying to tell you this. I don't want you to suffer any harm. It says you will suffer harm if you are a companion of fools. Physical harm, mental harm, spiritual harm, whatever it may be. There is some type of harm. There's some type of adversity that you're going to face, physical, mental, spiritual. And I want you to try to avoid that. So if you don't walk with wise, if you're a companion amongst fools, then you're going to suffer harm. So do you want that? Do you want to suffer harm? I pray that you don't want to suffer harm. So walk with wise. Wise people, a wise person is somebody who makes good, healthy decisions and has good judgment. So are the people you're hanging around with, are they making good, healthy decisions? And that's Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. But Solomon, he wrote Proverbs. He actually explains it just a little bit longer. And he says in Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17, he says, iron sharpens iron. So a friend sharpens one friend. Iron, imagine iron. It's this steel, you could have an iron axe, you could have an iron sword. It was a metal they used amongst that time. And if that iron to become sharp, you have to sharpen it with iron. If you want that iron axe, I'm using an axe for example. Imagine you're chopping wood. If you want to chop wood with an iron axe, you want that axe to be sharp. You don't want to swing as hard. You don't want to use a lot of strength. Maybe you need to drink a protein shake. I don't know. But do what you got to do. So if you want to chop that wood, if you're swinging with an axe, chopping wood, an iron axe, you want that blade to be as sharp as possible so you can be efficient. But here's the thing. If you're using an iron axe and you're starting to chop some wood, you're getting in the groove, you're feeling swole, feeling big, and then your blade starts to become dull, and you sharpen it with something that is not as strong as the blade, then you're going to continue to dull that blade. Like, for example, what if I was going to take wood that I was chopping up, I chopped some wood, what if I was going to use that wood to sharpen the blade of my iron axe? It wouldn't work. It would just continue to dull that axe. Or if I were to use another metal, lead is not as soft as iron. If I were to use any type of substance not as strong as iron to sharpen my axe, I'm just going to continue to dull myself. Same thing with the people we hang around. If I am iron, for example, my life, your life is an iron axe. And the people you hang around, they're either going to sharpen your blade or they're going to dull it. So it's up to you. Are you going to walk with wise people, or are you going to be a companion amongst fools that's going to suffer harm? Please don't suffer any harm. Check the squad that you roll with. Check the friends that you hang around with. If you got to cut some people, they got to go, then they got to go. All right, prioritize your life. Walk with the wise and become wise, and don't don't be a companion, or you will suffer harm. The people you hang around, they matter. The squad you roll with, they matter.